Hey, you!
Hey, you. Hey, you. Ever been to the monastery?
Maybe. Why?
Are they still taking on people? I wouldn't know where else to turn.
Where do you come from?
I used to be captain of a big whaler, my boy. The sea is my home. My ship, the good old Magdalena, was sunk by pirates a few months ago, and now I'm stranded here. All I ever wanted was to go back to sea. But since I've come here, not one schooner is called at this accursed port. The only ship which is anchored in Corinthus is that blasted war galley of the king, and they don't take on anyone. So what else can I do? There's no work for me in town. I've tried everything.
You'd better get off the road.
Don't worry. I've already noticed that the wilderness out here has become damn dangerous in the last couple of days.
Hey! I need to get into the monastery. It's urgent.
I can't let you into the monastery. I'll get in trouble with the High Council. Without the permission of my superiors, I can't let anyone into the monastery. That's totally obvious.
I've got a letter from Lord Hagen.
Show me. All right, here's the key to the monastery. Pyrocar is in the church.
How did you get to the monastery so fast?
What kind of a question is that? I crept through the pass and made my way straight to the monastery. Admittedly, it was never easy avoiding all the monsters making themselves at home on this side of the valley, but ultimately I encountered fewer problems than I expected.
Do you know where the others are?
Gorn seems to have coped with his stay in Garon's dungeon very well. In any case, he wanted to go to Lee and see what was happening on the farm. After the grub they serve in the dungeon, he's probably stuffing his face right now and putting the mercenaries' provisions to a real test. Diego mumbled something about a reckoning. No idea what he meant by that. But I suspect he's in the city. You know him, always there when there's something to be had.
Do you know anything about the hooded figures?
No, but I have a bad feeling about those guys. Be careful if you run into them.
Only what's right or wrong.
You know what I think.
Tell me that isn't true.
Hey, you!
Like this forever.
I do not know why you were allowed to enter the monastery. I am Parlin, and I am responsible for our novices. I do not
That's
want
just
you to
what I
keep them
said.
from their work with stupid questions. Is that
Thinks
clear?
it's as easy as that.
Sure.
I
I
certainly
feel
hope
sorry
so.
for the poor guy.
You don't
Where
have
can
to
I
tell me
find-
that.
The cellars.
The
Why haven't I
entrance to
heard
the
about this
cellars
before?
lies halfway along the colonnade on the
Minos
right.
deals out fair punishment.
The chapel.
The chapel is the room halfway along the left colonnade. That's where the paladins
I've
pray
got
to
no time for
Innos.
things like that.
The library.
You
The
better watch
library
out who you
is at
tell
the
that
end of the
to.
colonnade to the left, directly across
You
from the
really should have
church.
known better.
The church.
That'll
Lord
cause more
Almighty.
trouble.
Has Innos stricken you blind?
I've got no
Where
time
is
for
the
things like
church?
that.
Oh my, where could it possibly
That's
be?
just what I said.
I'm staying out of it.
As if I don't have enough problems.
Been there, done that.
Some citizens of Khorinis have mysteriously disappeared.
Take your tribute to Gorax at the monastery at once. He will handle it further.
The same is true for the investigation of the unusual earthquakes in the northeastern regions of Khorinis. So far, I have not received notice that our intervention would be required. Therefore, we are not going to take any steps in this matter.
Yes, but
No buts. We shall proceed as we see fit, and I hope even you are going to respect that.
I've come from the old Valley of Mines.
What do you have to report?
The enemy has formed up there with an army of orcs and dragons.
We have already learned that from Milton. But what about the king's shipment of ore?
The mine they are digging for Garand in the valley cannot satisfy the demands of the king.
The days are becoming grayer, and the light of the sun is ever weaker.
I was attacked by men in black robes.
I know. Those are the Seekers, henchmen from the nether realms of Beliar. Beware of them. They will try to take possession of you. Once possessed, you will no longer be yourself. Only here in the monastery could you find help then, so be careful. Here, this rune will bring you directly back to the monastery if you need our help. Remember, we must offer resistance or we shall all be doomed.
I have come to take the Eye of Innos.
I see that you have received an authorization from Lord Hagen himself to bear the Eye of Innos. I am afraid that I have to disappoint you. We have fallen victim to a treacherous plot of the enemy. The Eye of Innos has been violently taken from these sacred walls.
Who did this?
Evil is cunning and usually works in secret. Only rarely do you see it emerge to pursue its evil machinations in broad daylight. But these days, it's a different matter. The enemy now shows himself openly in the street, in every home and every public square. This can only mean that he no longer fears any adversary and is not going to shrink back from anything. One of our most faithful followers, a candidate for the high robe of the Magicians of Fire, has changed his allegiance unexpectedly, and in an alarmingly evil manner. Pedro. The enemy has taken possession of him, thus inflicting a terrible defeat upon us. Pedro has forced his way into our most sacred halls and stolen the eye. I fear that he simply spent too much time by himself, outside of the gates, and thus beyond the protective walls of the monastery, exposed to all lurking dangers.
Where did the thief flee to?
Pedro knocked down some of the other novices who tried to stop him and disappeared into the morning mist. Many novices have gone after him to bring the eye back to its place unharmed. If you want to catch up with him, you need to hurry before Pedro disappears out of your reach.
What about a little blessing? I could surely use it.
May Innos stand between you and harm on all the unholy paths you will have to walk.
Not so fast. I have another task for you. A mercenary for hire of your kind could be of use to us in this matter.
Whom should I kill?
For Innos' sake, no one, of course. This business demands a bit more finesse, you lout. Salandril, the alchemist from the upper end of town, is guilty of a serious crime and must be punished for it. However, he has refused to come to the monastery to be judged. Bring him here. How you accomplish this does not matter to us. You will, of course, be rewarded.
Isn't that the militia's business?
The militia is responsible for the city alone. This affair has far-reaching consequences.
No problem. I'll take care of it.
Good. We expect to hear from you in a few days.
Is there anything else you want to tell me?
Dismissed. You know what you have to do.
One more little thing. Stay away from the roadside shrines. We have heard that some of them have been desecrated. No one can say what effect they have now. It is not your task to solve this problem. The paladins will take care of this matter.
That's no secret.
So it says in the scriptures.
Hey, you!
He really should have known.
What are you doing here?
I must not speak with you. It's not looked on with favor if we talk to strangers.
I'm staying out of it.
That doesn't sound terribly happy.
Well, I mean, everything is just fine, really. Only, I don't want to complain.
Oh, come on, you can tell me.
And you really won't tell the magicians?
Do I look like I would?
All right. I have a problem with one of the novices. He's got a hold over me.
Come on, spit it out then.
Igaraz, that's the novice, found some of my private papers. He threatened to give them to the magicians if I don't do what he says.
What kind of documents are those?
That's, nobody's business. It's entirely my affair.
Come on, tell me.
They are, entirely normal documents. Nothing special.
I won't ask any further.
Been there, done that.
What are you supposed to do for him?
I don't want to talk about it. In any case, it isn't pleasing to Innos. I don't want to think what would happen if it came out.
Maybe I can help you.
You would do that?
Well, that depends, of course.
Naturally, I'd pay you for that.
How much?
Of course, I don't have much money, but I could give you a spell scroll. I have a healing spell.
I'll see what I can do.
Honestly, it just has to work. It has to. So, you only need to find out where Igaraz keeps the stuff. Then you swipe it from him, and everything will be just fine.
Relax. You just continue for now. I'll see to the rest.
You don't have to tell me that.
Are you satisfied with your task?
It's all right, but I need to get back to work. Otherwise, I'll never get finished today. I don't want to work half the night again in order to finish my obligation and stay out of trouble.
That was no big deal.
That's totally obvious.
Hey, you!
What can I do for you?
We need to talk about Babo.
Yes? What's wrong?
You've got something which belongs to Babo.
What might that be?
A few papers. Babo would like them back.
He would, wouldn't he? I can imagine. Unfortunately, I prefer to keep them, which brings us to a bit of a dilemma.
Where have you got the papers?
Well, of course I don't have them on me. I'm afraid I can't help you further.
Where are they?
I have them safely locked up, and you will never get the key from me.
What was Babo supposed to do for you?
If I had known the baby would do it in his pants over a few swamp weeds, then I would have seen to it that someone else took care of the monastery garden.
He's supposed to grow swampweed?
Of course. Since none of that stuff comes out from behind the barrier anymore, the price in the city has tripled. It could have been a good bargain for everyone involved. But Babo didn't want to play along.
How much do you want for the papers?
Actually, they're almost priceless. You very rarely see something like that here. But I have no desire to wager my future against a few gold pieces. 300 gold pieces, and you can do what you like with the papers.
I want to buy those papers.
Look, I can't leave here right now. I'll give you the key to my chest. There's nothing else in there anyway.
You have to feel sorry for the poor guy. That's just what I said.
That was no big deal.
That's totally obvious.
The path of virtue is long, rocky.
That's totally obvious.
That will never change.
No one must violate the divine order.
Same old thing all over again.
That's totally obvious.
Innos deals out fair punishment.
That'll only cause more trouble.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
You can't go on like this forever.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
Why haven't I heard about this before?
Same old thing all over again.
No one must violate the divine order.
Same old thing all over again.
I've got your documents.
That's just Really? Oh, thanks. You've saved me. I don't know how to thank you.
Yeah, just calm down.
I don't have enough. Are they really mine? Are you sure? Show me.
Here they are.
Yes, they're complete. Did you look at them?
Does that make a difference?
No, just as long as I have them back. Whew, now I hope I can rest easy again. I never would have thought.
That's no secret.
Can I be of assistance to you?
What's your task here?
My tasks are many and varied. Not only am I the steward, but I am also the treasurer. Moreover, I supervise the wine cellar, and I'm in control of the monastery's food supplies. So, if there's anything you need, you can always come to me and get it. For a modest contribution, that is.
I need a few things.
Wait, mercenary, I need to talk to you.
What do you want?
The monastery is facing a very delicate situation. At the moment, everyone seems to mistrust everybody else. And then, this thing with Pedro, that's extremely... I have an assignment for you from the highest authorities. You're not a member of the Brotherhood of the Fire, and therefore, the only one here who can settle this matter for us. But I must warn you, if I give you this assignment, you'll be bound to fulfill it too. Once you know what it's about, you'll have no choice. Do you understand?
Tell me what you want.
All right, then listen well, for I'm only going to say this once. Serpentis wants you to kill Pedro for his treason. As soon as you lay your hands on him, you will be paid as soon as this task is fulfilled. I never said that, and you haven't heard anything either. Understand?
It had to happen sooner or later.
Is there anything else you want to tell me?
Dismissed. You know what you have to do.
I couldn't care less.
Nobody ever asks me.
Can't rely on that.
What's your job here?
I prepare the paladins for their fight against evil.
Could have told you that before.
But there are only magicians and novices living in the monastery.
Wants to know.
That is correct, in contrast to our community which honors the word of Innos. The paladins honor the great deeds of our Lord above all else. We are the representatives of Innos, but the paladins are his warriors, who go into battle in his name and increase his glory.
That's totally obvious.
What is evil?
Evil is everywhere. It is the power of Beliar, the eternal adversary of Innos. It is the all-encompassing blackness which seems to blot out the light of Innos forever. Beliar is the lord of darkness, of hate, and of destruction. Only those among us in whose hearts burns the holy fire of Innos will bear the radiant light of Innos into the world and banish the darkness.
I've got no time for things like that.
Is there anything you can teach me?
I am an expert in the magic of ice and the magic of thunder. I can teach you their power. However, I only instruct magicians.
Any news?
Yes, the enemy has succeeded in planting a traitor in our sacred halls. He has stolen the Eye of Innos, one of our most important artifacts, and that is only the tip of the iceberg. The enemy has apparently already entered the city.
What do you mean?
No one must violate.
One of the paladins, Lothar, was murdered in the street. In broad daylight. It has gone too far, but I fear that is only the beginning.
Same old thing all over.
Where did
again.
the thief go?
I don't know that. He rushed to the gate like he was possessed and then disappeared. No matter where he hides, under what rock he crawls, the wrath of Innos will strike him and scorch his black soul.
Those are all just rumors.
Has the murderer been caught?
Fortunately, yes. It was one of the cutthroats from Onar's farm.
Could have told
Who?
you that before.
I don't know his name, but there are certainly a few figures among the mercenaries of whom you could expect such a
Why
deed.
haven't I heard about this before?
What's going to happen now?
You don't have to tell
We
me
will
that.
pursue the thief no matter where. We will hunt him down and see to it that he receives his just punishment.
For that, we would need to know first who the thief is.
We will soon find out, and no matter how long it takes us, we shall find him. This I swear by Innos.
Can't go on like this forever.
Only Innos decides what's right or wrong.
Better watch out who you tell that to.
It had to happen sooner or later.
You can't go on like this forever.
Things I could tell you.
Go away, don't tell me that.
That's not what my husband thinks.
And he works all day too.